welcome to Coding Tips. Today we are going to look at object lock and the class lock in Java. As per the definition, we can say that object lock is a mechanism to make the non-static data, which is nothing but instance data, thread safe. Here you can see this is a mechanism when we want to synchronize the non-static method, which is nothing but instance method or non-instance code block, such that only one thread will be able to execute the code block in a given instance of a class, which means at any only one thread can access the object methods. Let's see with an example. Here I have created the package with the Java examples in the coding tips, and I have named the class as Java object lock class lock. So I have created the main method. Okay. So now inside this main method, in this class we will create two synchronized methods. I am creating two synchronized methods called M1 and M2. I am just writing the method name and I am just printing the current thread. That we can do it from the thread class. We have the static method in the thread class, which is called current thread, which gives the current thread name. Similarly, I am creating another method M2. Here I am changing M2. Now let us create two threads. Before creating in Java, in order to create a thread, we have to extend the thread class or implement the runnable interface. So I am making use of thread class. So I created a class called thread1, which extends thread. So I have to implement the run method. So I am having the constructor Similarly, let me create one more class which also extends the thread. I copied the same thing and then changed the name to thread2, and then I created a constructor called thread2. Okay. Now, so here we have created two thread classes. Now create the instance in the main method for these threads. So now create the instance for this class Java object lock class lock, which I am naming it as object, and pass this object to this thread. Similarly, we have to add that over in the constructor of both the thread classes. this dot object equal to object. Similarly, I am doing the same thing in thread 2. And on this object, I am calling the m1 m2 methods. Now we have to start the threads. For that, I have to call start method on the thread. Let us debug this program and I can tell you how the class lock will acquire and how the object lock will acquire. I am just putting the debugger points in each and every method. I am right clicking debug as Java application. Here you can see our control is in the main method. I am just clicking F6. So two threads have been initialized. First thread 1 and now thread 2. The constructor has been called. Now when I say T1, so you can see here in this from here to here, these are all the debugging threads you can see. So this is a main thread. You can see thread comma main. Main method is also a thread. So that you can see over here. So when we say T1 dot start, it is invoking the run method of thread 1. So you can see thread 1 has been created. So when you click on here, the control has been gone into the run method of this. Similarly, go back to the main method. That means click on this object, Java class lock, object lock, and then click on T2 dot start. When you do the F6 on this T2 dot start, it will the control will be gone to the thread 2 run method. So here see, now you can see here three threads are present, which one is the main thread and another is thread 0 and another is thread 1. These are the by default names since we haven't given any name. Okay, now I am clicking on thread 1 run. Okay, and here object dot m1. So let us verify whether we have the debugger point in M1. Yes, we have the debugger point. Now click on F6. So you can see the control has come into the M1 method. And also you can see thread 0 owns the lock. Here you can see the lock symbol. That means this thread has acquired the lock on this object. What is the object? Java class lock. Java object lock class lock. For this class we have created an object and I have passed that object. Here you can see I have created one object and I have passed that object to both the threads. Now thread 1 is accessing the M1 method on this object, hence any other thread cannot access. So here we can see the object lock acquired by using thread 1 on this object, and since the same object has been sent to thread 2, so we can once the object lock is acquired, none of the threads cannot access any of the synchronized methods of the class. So we can see now here thread 0 owns the lock. You can see the lock symbol over here. Now I'm navigating to thread 1. So I am clicking F6. Now you can see here stepping. That means since the lock is acquired, the thread 1 is not able to access the M1 method. Okay, now I am going to the thread 1 method. So I am just clicking on F1. So you can see the in thread M1 the thread name is thread 0 that executed. Now immediately thread 1 has acquired the lock. You can see the lock symbol over here on the M1. Now when I click on F6 here, so thread 1 M1 is completed. Now I'm in, since I'm in thread 2, so now object.m2, now the control will go to M2 and the thread 2 will acquire the lock on this object. So you can see the lock symbol acquired the lock on this object. So if I am trying to run the M2 method from thread 1, I will not be able to run because the lock was acquired on the thread 2. You can see that over here. See here you can see stepping because the lock is acquired by thread 1. So let's go to thread 2 and then click on F6. You can see in method M2 and thread name is thread 1. So thread 1 has completed it. Okay, and it has released the lock, and immediately the thread 0 which is trying to acquire the lock has acquired the lock. You can see the lock symbol. Earlier the lock symbol was in thread 1. Now since the thread 1 has completed the method executing, thread 0 has acquired the lock. So I am going to thread 1 and then run it. So you can see in method thread 2 and thread name is thread 0. So both has completed the locks. So that's the reason like thread 2 is done. Now I am going to thread 2 and then click F6. The both are done. Now the control has come into the main. When you click that, complete program is done. Similarly, since the same object, so what does the object lock mean is, so here we have sent one object to both the threads. That means if thread 1 has acquired the lock on this object, any of the other threads which are acting on this object cannot access any of the methods of this class because it has acquired the lock on one of the thread. Okay, and let's create different object. Make it as object 1. This is object 1 is also a object, or else name it as obj. Obj is also a object of this Java object lock class lock, but which is different from the object. So I am passing it here. Now run the same program. Since the objects are different, both can execute. So two threads have been initialized, and you can see now I am calling t1.start. The thread has been created, and now I'll do t2.start. So both the threads have been created now. So now here when I say object.m1, it has acquired the lock. Okay, now thread 1 has acquired the lock on obj object in m1 method. Okay, so now similarly go to thread 1 and then click here. So it has also acquired. Earlier what was happening is, here stepping, we can see that stepping message was shown, but here thread 0 has acquired the lock and thread 1 has acquired the lock. This is because for in the main method we created two different objects for the same class, and those different objects we have sent it for the different threads. Now when thread 1 is working, it has acquired the lock on object. When thread 2 is working, it has acquired the lock on object obj. So which is different object from the earlier one, hence they are able to access the different methods. This is object lock. Let's complete this program and we can see the class lock. So class means like class lock is used to make the class level data static. Let's go to the PPT. we can see class level lock prevents the multiple threads to enter in synchronized block of any of all the available instances of a class on runtime. For example, if the runtime has 100 instances, then only one thread will be able to execute the synchronized method of a class. Okay. So now earlier for object we have used the normal instance method. Now class is acts on the static, right? So hence we have to make it as static. So M1 is static method of a class which is a synchronized, and similarly M2 is also synchronized static method. Now instead of sending the object, we can call, no need of creating an object, because static method can be called with a class reference itself. So I am removing this object and this one as well, and then I'm just removing this constructor in both the threads. So here the changes that I have made are, I have removed the object because static methods or class level lock belongs to the class data, not the object. So I have removed the objects. I created two threads and then made a start. Okay. And I have created a two static methods synchronized M1 and M2. To call this M1 and M2 methods, we just need the class reference. So I have created a reference. Okay. Now let us debug this. Here two threads are getting initialized, and when I say t1.start, you can see thread 1. Okay, here the control has been come into the run method of thread 1. Similarly, I am going to the main and then clicking on executing t2.start. So thread 2 has been coming. Okay, now I am in the thread 2. Okay, when I am clicking here object 2.m1, so it has come into the m1 method. Okay, and it has acquired the lock. You can see it owns the lock. So now that means thread 2 has acquired the class level lock. Now go to thread 1 and then try to execute F6. You can see here it is went to stepping, because in thread 2 what we have done, we have used the class reference for this class and then call the static method which is M1. Okay, when this is executing, it has acquired the lock on this class. So no other thread with the same class reference cannot call any of the synchronized method. Hence that's the reason we are not able to call other method. So when this thread completes the execution, so let us take here M1, the thread 1 is execution is completed. Immediately, earlier this was stepping, right? Now immediately this thread has acquired the lock on this M1 method. And then when you click on F6, that will be printed, like thread 0 is printed. Now here I am in the thread 0, I am clicking F6. Now the control has come into the M2 method and it has acquired the clock's level lock. Here you can see it owns the lock symbol. And now navigate to thread 2 and then try to click F6. So here you can see stepping. That means this M2 method has already acquired the lock, class level lock, on thread 0 using thread 0. Hence this thread 2 is not able to execute that M2 method. So once the thread 0 completes the execution, it will be able to. I'm just clicking on F2. So the execution is completed, and here you can see immediately it has thread 1 has acquired the lock. This is class level lock. We can this is the most important interview question with the concept. Thanks for watching.